Hello, and welcome to Have At Us, Reviews for Your Pleasure. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Nietzsche.
This is episode 13, Bare Necessities. Today, we are reviewing Jungle Book, the 1967 film, the Disney one. You know it. Everyone knows it. There will be massive spoilers. If you haven't seen this film, I don't know what to tell you. Go watch it if you want. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine too.
No, don't be encouraging people to not watch such a good film. Okay? That's rude. And this episode is all about teaching people how to survive in the jungle. That's called Bare Necessities.
It is going to be important that they survive in the jungle.
Yeah. One day, they're going to have to go to the jungle. And these will be life-saving tips.
I'm really looking forward to that day.
It's going to be a good day. Now, what did you think of this wonderfully great film?
I thought it was better than I thought it would be, going off my recollection of this movie from when I was younger than 10 or so.
Mm-hmm.
But I still find this movie to be kind of weird, oftentimes kind of boring. I don't really like most of the characters, and weird.
Weird. What is weird about this film?
The relationship between the characters is what I find most weird.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's... Mowgli starts off, he's found by Bagheera, the cool panther, finds him, gives him to the wolves. Some time passes. The wolves are like, oh crap, Shere Khan, he's coming. We can't help this boy. And then this wolf dad is like, oh, but I love him like he's my own pup. But then we just never see this wolf again. Doesn't try to help. Doesn't really have any real relationship that we see with this cub that he's grown or raised. And so it's weird. And then I'm like, okay, so Bagheera gave Mowgli to the wolves to raise. But it seems like Mowgli still knows Bagheera, so I don't really know what their past relationship is like. Just what we see in the film, but isn't super great. It's very weird. I don't really understand the relationship very well between all these characters, except that the animals seem to have some knowledge of the other animals throughout the jungle, which is kind of neat. It gives it that sense of like community, but it's still very odd.
They told you how much time had passed.
I don't remember.
It's 10 years. 10 or 11. But I'm pretty sure it's 10. It's the line where Bagheera says, the rains have come and gone so many times. Right? You remember this line?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty close to the beginning, and that is how you know how much time has passed. 1. 2, he just put Mowgli with the wolves because he couldn't raise him, right? I don't know what you want from that.
Okay.
I don't feel like that it's weird that he didn't like leave it on a church step and then just be like, oh, abandoning my child. That's not what happened. Maybe that's what happened to Mowgli's parent.
Well, what I'm saying though is he gives him to the wolves. But he still seems to have a relationship with Mowgli.
Yeah.
Having done that. But it doesn't discuss their past relationship like, oh, we've been friends throughout that time. He was still kind of like a uncle type figure or something, or a mentor. It never really shows any of that.
Why do you need that?
Because it would be more interesting and more compelling of a relationship.
Not for a children's movie, it wouldn't.
Okay, well, the adults have to be entertained too.
As an adult, I was entertained with this movie. From the get-go. You made a comment all about how you were hating on the intro music and the credits, and I was liking it.
Oh, I
was
thought it
over
was
there
bad.
like, man, this is kind of good.
No, I thought it was bad. I thought the intro music starts playing, and I'm like, please start doing something. And it eventually did, a little while after my comment. But for the first 2 minutes, I was just not having it. It was not good. There's not a lot of good music in this movie.
Oh, that's a lie.
There's
Most
two
of the
songs.
music is good.
2 songs that are okay.
Okay, well, we'll start with the 2 good songs. Let's hear it.
Bare Necessities is fine.
It's fine. It's not good. It got downgraded in the matter of seconds.
I feel like the chorus is good. By the time we're nearing the end of the song, I'm ready for it to be over. Like, it overstays its welcome for me.
No, it's a good song. It's simple. It's nice. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think thematically it's pretty decent. It's good. But I just don't... It also has a lot of, horns in it.
A lot of the music in here is a lot of brass instruments.
Yeah, you're not winning me over with brass instruments.
Yes, as the man who didn't care that Code Geass had horns every time.
I ignored it.
So, your taste in music is shot and sad. But let's hear about the next good song.
The Elephant Marching Song.
The Elephant Marching Song. Okay. Okay.
I think that might be the best song in the movie.
That's the best song. Whew.
Yeah, I thought that was the most entertaining. I liked the elephants.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably my favorite part of the movie, and I enjoyed that. Thought that was pretty good.
You enjoyed their marching song.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to go join the military.
I don't think they sing that.
You already don't have hair on the top of your head, so you basically fit right in.
I mean, that's a plus, right? I'd have to shave every day, though. I don't want to do that.
You might have to be one of the people who shaves multiple times a day.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Well, since you're not going to join the military, we just need this podcast to become super famous. That's what needs to happen. Everybody who's listening to this is going to make that happen. I feel very confident. I am not the biggest fan of the marching song. Like, it's fine. It's serviceable, but I don't know that I call it good. I'm not bothered by it, but it's just there. It fills space because it's a musical and we needed another song.
I don't even feel like this movie is much of a musical.
They're singing all the time.
I feel like there's only a few, like, standout moments. Like, you have, like, the King Louis part, which is the worst part of the movie.
Whoa, the worst part?
Yeah, I don't like that part at all. That and Caw. I don't like the snake.
Wow.
So.
Wow, well, let's start with what's so bad about King Louis and his friends.
It's mostly, I don't like the music going on. I'm not compelled by it. I don't think he's a particularly interesting character. The best part about it is that I like how he's like an orangutan, but like the rest of the monkeys are something different. I don't know what species they would be, but he's clearly he is an orangutan, is orange, and his design's pretty decent. But his whole thing is like, oh, tell me the secret of fire. Okay, like maybe he wanted that to become more powerful or something, but we don't really know his ultimate motivations. Or did he want to, like, defeat Shere Khan? I'm not really sure. Maybe it said it, but I did not hear it.
He wants to be like man. And to do that, he needs to be able to wield fire. That's the whole point of the song.
Why does he want to be like man, though? What's his motivation?
Because he's tired of monkeying around. That's the song lyric. You're looking at me like I'm an idiot, but that's the song lyric.
But I feel like I don't know him. Like, he's supposed to be this crazy guy. Because, like, Bagheera and Baloo are like, oh, God, King Louis, that guy. Kind of crazy. And then, I guess he seems a little crazy.
I mean, he seems like a tyrant.
A bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But all these monkeys were kind of jerks anyway, so am I supposed to be, like, sad that they have this bad ruler? Like, whatever, you all seem to fit together. You're all peas of a pod.
It's not that you should feel bad for the jerk monkeys who are mocking Baloo and just being jerks, right? It's that he's a tyrant. I don't know what else there was to that. Like, that's the only comment.
And he's a tyrant to the monkeys, and that's it?
He probably messes with everybody. I mean, he stole the man cub.
I guess, but, like, he has his own part of the jungle, and everyone else seems to just ignore it.
He had his own part of the jungle.
Well, yeah.
And then they broke it down.
Yeah, the physics of that building coming apart made a lot of sense.
Neither of us understand physics super well to start with, so I don't feel like you are in a place to say that a building couldn't fall apart like that, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You need to check yourself.
I'm gonna go become a demolition expert.
Uh-huh.
And then I will figure this out, and I will report back.
You have 1 week to do that.
I only need, like, 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah, how hard could this be?
I feel like you underestimate the level of mathematics that's gonna go into demolition expert here. And you and your poor math skills.
I don't need math. I just need explosives.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the King Louis part, I think, is really entertaining, okay? Since we went so far off base, I'm gonna bring it back around.
Yeah. You would think that.
I liked it. I think it's really fun. I like that it, like, musically, like, it's not necessarily the most pleasant, and their, like, monkey sounds are kind of irritating sometimes. But it feels like if the monkeys were making some music, they would make this music.
Thematically, it works. And Baloo joins in, does his little orangutan dance and song. I don't know how his disguise worked, but it worked.
I mean, he had no breasts to speak of in reality, like, because he's clearly trying to be a female orangutan.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know how a blue bear comes out with some coconut on his mouth, making that work, basically. Some grass skirt thing. It's a children's movie. I move on. I'm over there enjoying the song. It's a good song.
At least somebody is.
At least somebody is. That hurts. That hurts a lot that you hated on that.
Well, what's your favorite song?
My favorite song?
Yeah.
See, I like the I Want to Be Like You, and I like Bare Necessities at like the same level. I think those are really good. Your taste in music is garbage. That's what we're learning. And my taste in music is impeccable and perfect. Do you want to know why? Because I am a righteous man.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Of course. How could I have forgotten?
Yeah, I need to bring this up every once in a while, just in case people forget or you forget. Because you are no elephant, and you will forget things.
That's true. I'm no elephant. But I'll tell you what, if I was going to be an animal in the jungle, an elephant would not be a terrible choice.
I mean, they're pretty big. Nobody really messes with elephants, I feel like.
Apparently, occasionally, a pack of lions might take a solitary elephant. It's happened. But in general, they're a pretty left-alone animal.
Your animal facts for the week. Hope you appreciate that.
I mean, this is survival tips, right?
Yeah, we need you to give some good animal facts. The best animal fact you know. You put that right down in the comments for us. Since we are giving you some survival tips, be an elephant. That's a good tip. Or make friends with the elephants if you can't be an elephant. I know not everybody can transform into an elephant.
It's a rare gift.
People need to get good.
I agree.
But yeah, so I guess we can go to the beginning of this film. Now that we're this far in, we can go back to the beginning.
Yeah, let's circle back.
Yeah. You didn't like how it was set up. You were hating on that. I feel like it makes perfect sense and it's just fine.
It's very quick.
Yeah, it's a children's movie.
Yeah, that's not an excuse.
It is an excuse because you're not the target audience.
Everybody's the target audience.
Everybody is not the target audience. Children are the target audience, right?
Yeah, and I didn't like this movie as a child.
That's because you were a queer child.
So, there's better movies.
I mean, there are better movies. I'm not trying to claim this is the best movie.
There's worse movies.
I mean, there's a lot worse movies.
Alice is worse.
Oh, that hurts. But from there, I guess we get the first introduction to Ka, right? And you hated on Ka. What's your problem with Ka?
Why is he a hypnotist snake thing with his eyes? It's stupid. I don't like it. It's boring. He's really uninteresting. I don't like how we do that cartoonist thing where it's like, oh, he fell and now his whole snake structure is like twisted and his tail's in a knot and then he just leaves it. It's bad. I don't like it. Why didn't he just go back up the tree at night when they're asleep?
Because he's all kinked up.
Yeah, did it take a full day to get rid of his kinks? I don't know.
Don't be kink shaming Ka over here, okay?
I will if I have to.
That's rude. I like it. It is cartoony, and I like it because it's cartoony. It knows what it is. It knows what it wants to be, and I like it. It's just funny. It's mildly humorous to me. Like, it's not like I need to laugh about it funny.
Right.
It's mildly humorous. Like, I see that, and I go, that was funny. The use of it the second time, not very necessary.
That's bad.
Right? Ka didn't need to necessarily come back a second time. It would have been more entertaining if Shere Khan just was like, oh yeah, you think you're so clever, I'm going to pull you out of the tree. And then he gets caught. And you could have had a final confrontation there. Or you could have just cut the whole second Ka scene. That's fair. I agree. Now, the movie does start to dip at like the second Ka scene.
So, I agree.
Because that's the start of Bad Song. I don't like Ka's song.
Do I even remember this?
You don't even remember this. We watched this yesterday and it's already forgotten.
Oh man, I don't remember.
Disappointed, as always, in your sad memory of Disney songs.
It is what it is. I accept it.
Mm-hmm. You were winning no Disney trivia.
No.
And that is sad.
I would fail pretty miserably.
But you will get the Disney trivia that Walt Disney died in the production of this movie.
That I did learn that today, and so I could pull that out of my hat.
And now we have given this information to everybody else. I hope you were all thankful for that information.
It is useful.
It's going to be useful one day. One day, it's going to save somebody's life.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I need you to have some confidence in that.
I'm very confident.
Uh-huh.
It will happen.
Is there any other scenes in there that you're wanting to hate on over here?
That I want to hate on?
Yeah.
Let me think real quick. Ka sucks. Then you get the elephants. I like the elephants.
Mm-hmm.
Baloo. I guess we haven't really talked about Baloo.
Yeah, what do you think about Baloo? You like Baloo?
I'm completely indifferent.
You're completely indifferent. He doesn't do enough to be offensive. but he's not good enough to be liked, huh?
I appreciate that he tried later in the film to be like, okay, you're right, Bagheera. Mowgli does need to go to a human village and tries to go against what he wants to do and, like, be an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think that was pretty good. That made me think, you're all right.
Okay. I just think he's pretty funny. I like him. I think he's pretty humorous, and he's kind of like the stupid humor, but he's not quite, like, far enough to be stupid humor, and I just think it works real well. He's pretty believable to me.
He's very boastful of, like, oh, I gave him the left, and then I gave him the right.
He's got kind of the, like, fisherman's tale thing going on.
Yeah.
It was this big, and it just gets bigger every time you tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
Except his story starts at, like, it was like a 7-foot fish. So...
Well, doesn't he say, like, oh, it was like hundreds of them?
They said, like, there were thousands of monkeys.
Thousands of them.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
I think it was like there was 1,000 monkeys, and I was fending them off, and Bagheera is just not having any of it.
Yeah, that might be the funniest line in the movie.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, I really connect with Bagheera, though. Like, I do. He's a serious guy. He's trying to just do the right thing, because it's the right thing to do, and get it done, and nobody wants to cooperate.
Let me tell you, I wanted to like Bagheera. My problem was, he just had this back and forth, like, oh, I'm just giving up on you, human cub, man cub, whatever. And then he goes away, and then he hears a cry, and then he's like, oh, well, I better go back. And then he just does this multiple times.
Look, not everybody can be perfect and impeccable, okay? Bagheera made some mistakes in his anger, and you don't have to lambaste him for that. That's rude.
I'm not even convinced he liked Mowgli with the interactions.
No, I feel like he treats Mowgli like he's a responsibility. I like that. But he is pretty happy at the end.
That's a weird ending, but we'll get there.
I forgot that that's what the ending was. And then we got there and I was like, oh yeah, it is. But you get the vulture song too.
Now, the song, whatever. But the vultures themselves I thought were alright.
I remembered the vultures, and I don't remember liking them as a kid. And that stands true. I still don't think they're very good. It's weird that they randomly have, like, the English accent, and, like, maybe they're supposed to be, like, the Beatles or some weird nonsense. I don't really get it. I also am a little confused why they're all about eating dead things, like they should be. And then Baloo dies, and they're, like, shedding tears over it. Like, I feel like you didn't have to, like, make awful comments. They could have made a comment about it.
It's a children's movie, Nietzsche?
Are you trying to throw this back in my face right now?
A little bit.
That's rude. I would never do something like that to you, because I'm a righteous man. Yeah. But the vultures. Yeah, I didn't believe that. They didn't have to be crying. I feel like that was kind of weird.
Well, I mean, their whole personality was like, oh, we'll be friends with anybody, and we like all the creatures.
Except for Shere Khan.
No one likes Shere Khan.
Why? So my deal is, they treat the jungle like it's, like, provinced out. Like, this is our province.
Yeah.
This is our wolf clan over here. The other wolf clans in Province C over there. Okay?
Yeah.
But we don't mess with those people. We don't go past this rock here. This is our special rock.
I mean, animals have territories, right?
They do have territories. I just feel like it seems weird that it's, like, provinced out. Like, this is our part of the jungle. This is our community right here.
I don't really have a sense of how big this jungle is.
It's a big jungle. It's a jungle in India. I don't know how big the jungle in India is.
I also found it hard to place the time period. Like, it's based off a book that was written in, like, the late 1800s. So, at least in the 1800s. But it's very nondescript.
Well, I feel like it's really weird that they are over there, like, afraid of guns. But then she's just, like, drawing water from the river in, like, a weird, like, traditional, like, village fashion. And I'm like, I don't know that, like, the animals would have to be super afraid of guns. Like,
yeah, it's kind of hard to believe that this village has guns.
Yeah, it feels like this village shouldn't have guns.
Like, they would have spears.
I mean, they might have a gun, right? It's fine. I feel like if they have guns, though, for appropriate time frame, it's a village of white people, right? It's a village of, like, imperialistic Englishmen or something.
I mean, I don't know when guns spread to other countries. or nations.
I don't know.
When would they make it to, like, indigenous people inside a jungle? I have no idea.
That did feel a little weird. I'll give you that. But the time frame thing is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that in the books he talks about them having guns or anything.
Have you read this book?
Yeah, I've read both the Jungle books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I own it because I'm a cool person like that. It's actually a really, like, old, decrepit-looking book because I know you needed that image.
It's fitting, at least. It is old.
But yeah, it's separated into a bunch of little short stories. And so you get, like, 2 or 3 stories with Mowgli, and then you get some other random story. And you'll maybe come back to Mowgli.
Well,
and it spans over both books.
You notice at the beginning of the movie, it shows, like, a page on a book. And it's, like, chapter 1. But then that's never, like, brought up again.
Oh, I feel like that's just for thematic effect. It doesn't say it's a adaptation, though. It says that the story was written by these people and inspired by Rudyard Kipling. Because it's a pretty far deviation.
Is it?
In the end. Like, these events happen. That's fair. But I think Mowgli, like, kills Shere Khan and then, like wears his skin back to, like, the village or something. And
that would have been a more satisfying ending.
Except it's a children's movie. I mean, he could have died in the end. I feel like it would have been fine. But we really shied away from Shere Khan's death there.
Yeah, that was really... Shere Khan wasn't really that intimidating. Like, we're talking about this guy for most of the movie, and then he finally comes in play. And like, okay, why are you such a bad dude? Why are people so afraid of you? An entire wolf pack doesn't want to protect this kid because you're so dangerous. And what does he do in this film to prove to me that this wolf pack couldn't have just taken him out? I don't understand. He was kind of lame, and his only good I don't mean like it's entertaining, but like good as in he has a good amount of time is with Ka. Like, they have a pretty long interaction, but he doesn't seem hyper intelligent. Like, he seems to be onto Ka a little bit, but then Ka's just bluffing his way through this, and then Shere Khan leaves without knowing he had Mowgli. And it's like, okay, so you're not, like, really intelligent, ultimately. You're not a great sleuth.
I feel like he knew that Ka had Mowgli, and he left the threat there, hoping that was going to be enough, and walked away. That's how I felt about that scene. I like his voice actor a lot. The voice acting is really good. Now, I feel like the voice acting in this is good.
It's serviceable.
I feel like it conveys what it needs to convey pretty well. I'm believing it. Except for your favorite character, Ka. I'm not believing that very well.
Ka sucks.
I don't hate Ka, but I don't love him either. He's fine. He's there.
Yeah,
he does his thing.
I guess Mowgli, like, ties Shere Khan's tail over a burning branch.
Pretty big branch, too.
Yeah, a really big branch that had just been struck by lightning and was on fire.
Uh-huh.
And then it also starts to rain not long afterwards.
Yeah. To make sure that the village, or the fire doesn't take over the jungle.
Right. And so I'm like, wouldn't this tiger just have this flame potentially put out?
No, he's so afraid. He's just running now.
Okay.
We instigated fight or flight, and he's fleeing to a different part of the jungle.
So he's not even, like, a badass like he thinks he is. Shere Khan sucked.
I mean, there are better versions of Shere Khan, but this is fun. I like Shere Khan. I like tigers, though. I'm pretty partial to tigers.
I love tigers.
And that helps a lot, and I like his voice acting, and I just like him. I agree that there's no great, like, antagonist here. It's not like, wow, I like Shere Khan because he's a great antagonist. He really makes me feel like he was a threat to the jungle, because he doesn't.
Yeah, he's really underwhelming.
But, I mean, if he had killed Baloo, that could have been good.
That would have been more interesting.
And then the vultures ate him.
That would at least be accurate.
They make a joke about, like, them eating dead things. But, yeah, the Baloo scene where they think he's dead is pretty funny.
You think so?
I think that's pretty funny.
Oh.
I liked it. No?
It wasn't doing it for me.
But not doing it, huh?
Yeah, I didn't really like it.
What was wrong with it?
I feel like he wasn't hiding his demise well enough. Like, he started talking a little bit. Nobody heard him. Like, he opened his eyes. Nobody saw that. You got 4 birds, a human, and a panther. Nobody sees anything. Over here crying, looking at him, and I was just like, I'm not buying the fake out very well. That was my problem.
I don't think you were supposed to, believe that Baloo was dead and there was a fake out there. But Bagheera and Mowgli are faced the other direction.
I saw that because Bagheera's like, come on, we can go, and then we'll remember him. But they don't make it very far, so they're clearly just standing there, and they don't hear him talk.
Bagheera's doing his thing. He can't be disrupted, okay?
Yeah. True.
I don't know why you gotta be rude like that. It's not like he's a panther and has good ears, okay?
That'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that he has a biblical quote there. He's like, no greater love or can you show someone than laying your life down for your friends?
Is that biblical?
Yeah, it is. I didn't know that was a child, but he said it and I was like, oh.
Where's that from?
It's something Jesus says somewhere. I don't remember exactly where that is.
Wow,
I don't have chapter and verse off the top of my head.
I thought you were a righteous man.
I am a righteous man. This is why I called it out. Did you know that was a biblical quote?
No.
No.
I don't claim to be something I'm not.
Is that an insinuation I hear?
You can read into it whatever you want.
Uh-huh. That hurts my feelings a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
Please do.
That hurt. Why are you so mean to me? Just because I like this film and you don't. You're just trashing on all the good films. Alice sucks. This is better than Alice, though.
This is somehow better than Alice.
I don't even understand. Why you gotta be so rude?
This movie felt like an hour. Alice felt like 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
That's how.
Now, what are some good things about this movie? Are there any good things you haven't already stated?
Just the elephants. That's the good part.
That's the only good part?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have a favorite elephant?
I like the Colonel.
You like the Colonel?
Colonel, Happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I like him. It's just this old guy who he seems like somebody who's reliving his glory days every day, but he's really just old and kind of incompetent at this point. I like him.
Okay. That seems like a weird reason to like someone. He's basically a failure, but I like him.
Now, we haven't discussed the actual main character of this film.
Now, Mowgli. I like Mowgli. Mowgli feels believable to me. I don't think that Mowgli's like a grand, wonderful antagonist. He's a whiny kid. Because guess what? He's 10 years old and he was raised in the jungle.
Him being a kid is a saving grace of me not being like, you suck. Because yeah, you're 10, you're really impressionable, great. But he's not entertaining.
Oh, I like kind of his antics, like with the elephants and stuff. And
like, he's curious.
Yeah, I like him.
But I'm kind of bothered. Like, he's raised by these wolves, but he just wants to say, he doesn't want to go back to the wolves. Maybe they were mistreating him. Maybe that's what I'm missing here. Maybe they were abusive.
He can't get back to the wolves. He wants to stay in the jungle. That doesn't mean he has to live with the wolves. He's old now. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, okay.
He can survive in the jungle.
Yeah, he does a really grand job of that.
Yeah, he does. Bagheera was very impressed. Baloo was going to protect him.
Baloo was impressed with this kid instantly, for some reason.
Because Baloo is a childlike bear. He's like the adult man who just never grew up. Which is really angering in real life, but it's funny because he's a bear.
A sloth bear, I looked it up.
He's a sloth bear.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't know that I would have got that.
His claws
make sense.
Yeah.
When I think about it, but I just felt like that was just artistic effect.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it makes more sense.
So he's a sloth bear. Good to know.
Yeah.
Another good animal fact in there.
Yeah. Survival tips.
Survival tip. Sloth bears will protect you if you have childlike innocence. Now, if you've already failed your childlike innocence, you still got the elephant.
Still got the army.
You could just go join the army. You'd be with Josh here in the army.
I would be a great corporal.
You will never make it to that status.
That's very hurtful.
Says the man who's hating on everything that I like and telling me I should cry. Uh-huh. Yeah. You got nothing to say now. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on Mowgli, since we've just deviated and wandered everywhere at this point?
Because he's a kid, whatever. He's
Mm-hmm.
fine. He serves a purpose for the film. The best part with Mowgli is the ending of this film, because it's slightly humorous.
It's pretty funny, right? It's pretty funny that he just gets wooed by this woman. She's not even trying before he shows up, and then he shows up, and then
she's not a woman. It is girl.
Oh, the girl.
Yeah, the girl.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that it's the girl. Like, I saw that in there, and I knew who that was, but I forgot that it ended with him just being, like, starstruck.
Yeah, he's just like, he just sees a girl, and he's like, what is that? Oh my god. You know, I wanted to stay in the jungle, but man, I have changed my mind. Girls. That's where it's at. That's basically the lesson at the end for him.
I feel like, so it makes sense, right? He's never seen another human in his life, presumably.
Yeah.
And now he sees another human, and he knows his instincts are
Go
reproduce.
Yeah, he's 10.
That doesn't mean that he has not been subjected to the horrors of the jungle and has seen other animals reproduce.
You know, maybe he has. He did live with a bunch of wolves.
Yeah, and that woman has more cubs when you see her next. So, like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, he walked in on something.
I'm just saying, he might know a little bit, right?
Maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe he was like, my penis doesn't look like that. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, that's all you gotta say to that? I think he has some sexual knowledge, and that drove him to need to follow that woman.
I think it was his base instincts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, this girl, her eyes.
Well, they're drawn really bad.
They're so weird. Like, it looks like they're like bug eyes, like they're coming out of her head. It's very weird. She's drawn very differently from Mowgli. And then Mowgli makes some weird faces, which are kind of funny.
His weird smile.
That's kind of funny. You don't really actually see him smile a whole lot in this film.
No, because he's pouting and angry a lot.
Yeah, so, you know, it's funny. But I just thought, for an ending, very, very weird.
We made it back to the village. We solved our problem.
Yeah, we did.
He now knows how to draw water.
And then Bagheera and Baloo, good friends.
They're cheering him on. Their weird little thing at the end, I'll give you that's what it is. It's weird. I moved on though. It's the ending.
Yeah, it's a slightly funny ending. I don't think it's supposed to be funny, but I think it's funny.
Oh, I think it's supposed to be a little funny.
Well, I think him, like, falling in the water and stuff, sure. Like, a little bit of slapstick humor in there. But I don't know if, like, thematically it's supposed to be funny.
I feel like it was supposed to be kind of funny. Mm-hmm. That he just, like, you know, gets wooed by this woman and she's just, like, batting her eyes.
You gotta stop calling her woman. That's not her name.
She's a woman by this point, okay?
By this point?
Yeah. This film was made in, you know, whatever, 1967 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So now she's a woman, okay?
Right, okay.
And now she sends her daughter out to draw the water. That's what her song taught us.
Yeah, she has a handsome husband.
Who is Mowgli.
And then she has a daughter of her own that she can send out to get the water. That is her life. Truly, truly staggering.
Yeah, I was wondering the whole time why Disney put the, like, disclaimer thing on there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this song is the only reason it exists. That song is so stereotypical of, like, the nuclear family, and just, like, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have a problem with that, but...
I mean, it's a product of its time. It is what it is. It's funny to look at back at this point. I don't know that everybody else will find it funny, but I think it's kind of funny.
Somebody's going to write some hate comments now. I invite them. Please write your hate comments.
It would be more entertaining than this movie.
Whew. That was mean. Do you have anything else positive, negative, neutral that you want to talk about?
I like that it didn't go on longer.
Anything else you want to say? Any other rude things you want to bring about here? All right, I got nothing else to say about this wonderfully great film. Not great, though. It's good. Wonderfully good film. It's been a pleasure. Need you to like, comment, subscribe. Give me some suggestions on what other things you want to see us talk about.
And you need to go to the jungle. Your nearby jungle.
The local one, yeah.
Yeah, the local one.
The one in your province.
Yeah,
city, state, county.
Wherever that's at, just go there. And you need to start proclaiming to the animals
about this podcast. That's important. The animals will understand. They will spread the word.
Now, you'll be safe because you just learned a lot of useful tips.
2 of them. So your jungle better have some elephants and sloth bears.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have that, I don't know where you're living. What kind of nonsense is that?
I mean, they're not living in America, where we have the best jungles.
Correct.
What are you giving this?
5 out of 10.
I'm giving this a 7 out of 10.
Have at us.